not solving the problem. Okay? So we are here, folks. Let's focus on one thing. Let's focus on what the solutions are. Okay? Let's focus on what the solutions are. So I'm going to take one more question, and then we're going to go off cameras because I want to dig. I've come up with a solution. The solution is to get them housing and get people services, and not to demonize anyone. And that goes both ways. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
The problem is that this enabling of these issues. We have 12,000 homeless. It will take years to get the structural problems corrected around the lack of mental health services, around the substance abuse treatment centers, and it'll take years to do that. In the meantime, what I understand, and I understand the compassionate aspect as a mental health counselor, but we are enabling people to break the law.
That's right.
We would get arrested if we trespass in a place. So there's got to be a balance somewhere. If you offer services and housing, we've been offering that for years and years and years. And the homeless people just keep, because we allow it. And there has to be a way to tell these folks with these problems, and not all of them have these problems, that you cannot be here, that this is your choice, and give them a choice if you have it, services, housing, or whatever, but you can't be here. And you will be arrested tomorrow if you are still here. There's got to be a balance between the two. So I need to hear from you, Mr. Harrell. How do we provide services and housing when we've been trying to do it for 12 years now? So you're saying this is going to continue on and on and on. So that's my question to you. How do we do this in the next, when you become the mayor, say in the first year of your office, how are we going to do that, the services and the housing? We've been trying that.
So, I'm sorry, what's your first name?
Mary?
Mary, I'm going to do what I always do with my wife, Mary. May I first disagree with a few facts that you inserted in your question?
Sure.
I always ask her for permission first, because she says no, then I got to take a different approach. So there's not 12,000. That's a county number that you hear a lot. So there's less than 5,000, number one.
Okay.
And I also didn't say, Mary, that it would take years and years and years. That never came out of my mouth.
I said
okay.
that.
So now at some point, I actually believe I believe in a housing first approach. And I think as a mental counselor, you know exactly what that is.
Absolutely.
So I actually believe we have the resources in this region to house them immediately. We have them. And I think that politicians hide behind the fact of saying we don't have enough resources to do this. When in fact, number one, we're one of the richest regions in the country. King County, Snohomish County are among the top 10 affluent counties in the country. So we have not only tax revenues that we're spending that are not transparent, because none of you can say exactly where the 160, 170 million is going as we speak, because there's no transparent plan, which we will have under my leadership. But number two, we're not also asking these large corporations to extract so much money from our community, so much revenue from our community, $17 million an hour kind of revenue from our community. They're not helping us with this problem. So I have a sense of urgency in everything that I do. So I do not want to wait years and years and years, Mary. I want to get this done. My first order of business is to look at all these areas, and I want the whole city to see. What I talked about is Channel 21 is a channel that none of you watch, no doubt, but it's owned by the city. It's on 24/7.
Yeah.
I want the people to see and meet Anthony, and I want them to meet you, so they could understand that I believe in goodness in both of them. This is our problem. It's not his problem or your problem. So it will not take years and years. And that's exactly why when we received the 116 million of federal funds, I said the majority should go to the crisis of the day. This is the crisis of the day.
But if they're breaking the law, why are we not following through like it would be for us?
Because
just because they have a substance abuse problem, just because they have other problems, I don't understand that.
I'm going to answer that question, and Mike, I'll come right to you, okay? Because we have developed a policy where we are trying not to criminalize.
Well, you're not
Tortoise.
criminalizing mental illness or drug addiction, but you're criminalizing,
you're-
they're breaking the law.
You're going to see that drug abuse and drug misuse and drug issues is a health crisis. And we're couching it, as you well know, Mary, as a health crisis. I don't think it's healthy for a person to inject drugs in their system like this. I mean, I think we could agree on that. So if we believe it's a health crisis, we treat it differently than someone breaking the law. Now, if they are breaking into houses and they're committing assaults and there's sex trafficking and there's blatant criminal behavior, that's a different discussion. That is clearly a different discussion.
It's all happening.
All those things, they said, are happening.
I'm saying that's a different discussion.